Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, and today I'm going to bring you some SWTOR footage of my character who happens to be a Jedi Sage. Currently, in this particular video, he's only a Jedi Counselor, but I'm actually already a Jedi Sage. Wow, I say already like that's a big flippin' deal. You get to be a Sage at level 10, so it's not such a huge achievement. But, yeah, I'm going to be starting up as a healer. I'm currently playing in, the Crucible Pits, which is a US realm. I'm also considering having a alt tune somewhere in Europe or maybe in a different server, because one thing's for sure, I also have to make a tank. I mean, let's be honest here. I need my tanks. Without my tanks, I'm nothing. So, but I really wanted to start as a healer because I really enjoyed playing the Sith Inquisitor the other time around, but obviously I want to be a part of the Republic. This particular mission that you're watching right now is the first time that we encountered Nail and Rollock, which happens to be one of the main villains in this particular story, the Sage story, not Sage, the Counselor starter zone.
You make a lot
As
of
you can
noise.
see, there he comes.
I come for a flesh raider. I find a Jedi
Yeah,
Padawan.
not one Jedi Padawan. You
come
find
to
the
listen,
Jedi Padawan, my friends.
Think among the dead, to fight for my people.
Fight for my people.
Why have you come?
Well, in all honesty, I just came to get the holo projector, but I would say I will have your head, but I can't really have his head because I'm trying to roleplay a real Jedi, like really benevolent and not really benevolent, but neutral.
They don't understand. Are the flesh raiders destroyed? No.
So this guy basically found this datacron and kind of stole it, and we were sent on a mission at the start of the game to recover 4 datacrons. One of them is missing, which is the one that this guy stole, and this guy apparently learned how to use force powers by using that particular datacron, which is not awesome, not amazing at all. I mean, the guy's learned force powers, and if he is not correctly guided, basically what usually happens in the Star Wars universe to people who learn the force powers and are not properly guided, they tend to go on to the dark side, which is what's happening to this guy. He's slowly falling down to the dark side. Look at him, he just wants to tear this place apart and kill a whole bunch of flesh raiders, which are these monsters that apparently attack his village, and the guy's pissed off. It's understandable.
The flesh raiders will come, but not leave. A merciful death compared to what my people have suffered.
Ooh. Merciful death, huh? Crushed beneath stone.
There are hidden wonders, Jedi.
So
My
getting me
journey has
killed
just
is a
begun.
hidden wonder.
Now run, or
Oh,
die.
really? Bastard. So basically the guy starts collapsing the whole cave, and what happens is your objective at this point in time in the mission becomes get away from the collapsing cave. However, there's several flesh raiders incoming inside the cave, and you have to kill them if you want to achieve the bonus objective. However, being a good Jedi, I almost not want to complete some of these bonus objectives, because I mean, seriously, come on, I'm supposed to be a good Jedi. I'm supposed to be preventing the death and annihilation of the flesh raiders, which is what this other guy wants. So it's like, oh no, I'm going to save the flesh raiders from dying in this collapsing cave by killing them. Well, I suppose it's not as painful as dying with a rock on your face, but still, they are getting cut down by a lightsaber, so yeah, about that. But yeah, you'll notice throughout several of the dialogue choices that I'm going to be making in these videos that I am trying to be kind of a neutral Jedi. Well, not really neutral, obviously tending to the light side. It's just the light side when it comes to Jedi tends to be neutral. That's the way that's the Jedi way. You're supposed to be extremely as neutral as possible. You're supposed to have no emotion. You're supposed to have... You guys know what I mean. I mean, everyone who plays this game is supposed to be a Star Wars fan. And for everyone that's not a Star Wars fan, what is wrong with you? But, proceeding, we start heading towards the exit of the cave. We are still missing 2, I believe, 2 Flesh Raiders to get our bonus mission. So, there he is, Flesh Raider Seeker. How are you doing? I am going to be pushing your face against the wall as the cave is collapsing. Now bashing a rock into your face. How are you doing? And now lightsabering your friend over here. Not really lightsabering, it's actually a vibro blade. But then again, saying vibro blading is not really something extremely positive, now is it? So we're able to escape the collapsing cave, and we go back to our master Yuan Par.
Concerning your visit there.
Yuan Par tells us something about a side quest that I've done that I didn't really record, because I'm just trying to focus on recording what I feel is important, not really all of the quests.
Yes,
but as you can see, I'm just saying, yes, I will meditate
Rajivari's
on it.
hologram is safe.
the holo projector was stolen by a Twi'lek, Neelan Ralak. He'd learned force techniques from Rajivari's hologram. He was obviously
Rajavari was also apparently the very first Jedi to fall to the dark side.
Sensitive. Let's see what he saw.
Activation protocol begins. A few words. Shall this be all my legacy? No. My enemies are long dead. It is time. I have left true wisdom behind. For those who follow where the first blade points, from the sanctuary of the Order, all else is fleeting.
My word, true wisdom. Padawan, he's talking about the fount of Rajavari.
And from this point onward, our main quest takes a little bit of a twist, and we are now looking for the fount of Rajavari, which is a fount of knowledge left behind by this Jedi Master who has fallen into the dark side.
He created a great archive of his knowledge and teachings, the fount of Rajavari. Generations of Jedi search for it, finding nothing. The fount's considered a hoax by all reputable scholars, but we just heard proof.
Yes, we did. The hologram basically told
Neelan
us.
Ralak saw this hologram, Master. More of Rajavari's knowledge could make him incredibly dangerous.
The hologram said, follow where the first blade points, from the sanctuary of the Order. Kaleth! The ruins at Kaleth. The name means sanctum. It's the remains of an ancient fortress. Evidence suggests Kaleth was destroyed in a great battle. Old droids still walk those ruins today. But this first blade is a puzzle.
Those old droids were apparently left behind by the Jedi Masters of old. And
if it was once a fortress, it could refer to weapons that were stored in Kaleth.
They keep Kaleth almost like, let's say, free of invaders.
Like the first blade, but a good place to begin. I planned your training so carefully, but the Force has intervened. Finding the fount of Rajavari and stopping Neelan must be a greater test.
Of course, the Force itself decided that I needed a much bigger challenge than the regular Jedi.
Even if the Force
It's one of those things where they try to make you look extremely special, more special than everyone else, and it's a good thing, because when you're part of a story, you obviously want to be the most special character in the story. So this is a way that basically MMOs come up with to make you extremely special. This has happened in World of Warcraft as well. But anyways, right now our quest seems to be finding the first blade, so we head on to the ruins of Kaleth, and we find this droid over here,
I must take the first
who
blade.
appears to be
The
the
Jedi
keeper
had
of the
need
first
it
blade.
The first blade. First Jedi weapon. From this beginning, lightsabers came. Millennia pass. Only hilt of first blade remains. Only disturbed once.
So we are going to
Rajavari
get the
came.
hilt of the very
He felt
first
worthy.
lightsaber ever created.
Permitted to take the
I mean,
hilt.
how epic
Later,
is that?
returned it.
Rajavari apparently has
Why would
already
Master
used
Rajavary
used
take the hilt and then
the
bring it
blade.
back?
Not my
He has came to
concern.
claim it, and then
Take the
he
hilt.
returned it.
Prove worthy.
Obviously, however,
Philosophy
he
of Jedi
did something
combat.
with the blade.
Show
In
understanding.
this particular case, he
Weapon master
inscribed the
left
blade with
challenges.
data,
Here in Kaleth.
which now
droids
makes
to
the
test
blade
his
act
students.
as a key,
Find
I
out.
believe, to a
Prevail.
certain altar that
The
we're going to be
hilt of
finding
the
later
first
on.
blade waits.
Which will guide us into obtaining the knowledge from the fount of Rajavari. So the trials that you have to pass in order to get the first blade is you have to destroy these little battle droids over here. Not really a huge challenge, just use telekinetic throw and just throw rocks at them, whatever. Just use your DPS skills, it's not a big deal at this point in the game. Also, you do not actually get healing skills until you select the Path of a Sage. You get a couple of spells, but if you then choose the Path of Shadow, I don't actually believe that you get any healing skills. Although I'm not exactly sure, because I still haven't played a whole bunch of the game, because I've been recording, and today I just needed to comment and get you guys a couple of videos so that you guys know what I've been up to. So yeah, we're going to be taking out these ancient combat training droids and prove ourselves worthy of the first blade. 2 down, 1 to go. Always meditating in between attacks in here because these particular droids are not they're not regular type monsters. They're actually elite monsters. I'm not saying they're incredibly challenging, but they do take a little bit of a toll on your force and health, so meditate is quite useful. So we're going to be taking out the final combat training droid, and then we're going to go back to the stone where we found the first droid. And we're gonna ask him, hey bro, where's my first blade and all that jazz?
Telemetry is received. All droids report your battle performance. Satisfactory.
I don't think there's any way to actually achieve a greater than satisfactory score, because I think I fared pretty well against those guys.
Perhaps one day my performance could reach very satisfactory.
With training, perhaps. Take the hilt. Treat with respect. Fight with honor.
If only it was a real functioning lightsaber. Would have been a lot more useful than just a hilt. So we grab the hilt and then we immediately report back to Master Yuan Par.
Master Yuan, I found the hilt of the first blade. A proto-lightsaber from someone called the Weapon Master. The hilt looks as if there's data engraved on it.
Of course. The first blade points the way. Rajavari made the legendary weapon itself our guide. The Force is certainly with
Damn right the Force is with me. Are you kidding me? I'm Rurikhan.
I will look into a way to access that data.
The Force has been with me ever since I learned how to speak English. I mean, Star Wars is how I learned how to speak English.
I'm glad to see you well.
So, once we're heading back into the Jedi Temple, we get approached by the council members here who... I mean, the thing about these council members is that they seem extremely conservative. They're like, oh, I mean, you're being guided by the Force, why are you so special? You know, that kind of stuff.
The Jedi Council. Yuan told us about Nayland Raylock, the pilgrim seeking Rajavari's secrets. She also claimed the Force is guiding your training. This isn't unknown, but...
But it is unusual.
So the Force influencing a Padawan's training is quite rare.
Yuan seems convinced, but trusting blindly in the Force isn't the
Once
Jedi
again,
way. Good judgment
SWTOR tries to make you feel like that unique snowflake. And, I mean, obviously if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, you immediately realize, wait a second, everyone that's made a Jedi Counselor is going through the exact same thing, so I'm not really that special. But it's still cool that they give you that... You know, that little element, that BioWare storytelling element. I think it's cool.
The council has agreed.
It's actually probably the main selling point for me in this game is the storytelling.
But I am concerned about
the dialogues and all that kinds of stuff. I really love it.
Finding the Fount of Rajavari before Nayland Raylock does is important. But so is your safety, Padawan.
I'm always mindful. Always. So after we get approached by the conservative Jedi Council members, we obviously head up to Master Yuan Par and show her, hey, we got the first blade! What is up? She's all excited about it too.
Proves the same technique existed. Don't you see? It'll resolve that silly debate once and for all.
Yuan is soft thing, old soft thing. Look at him. Look at this reptile just telling my master like, you're old.
I'm not quite ready to... Ah, Padawan. Much longer and we'd have come looking for you. I thought you might have crossed paths with Nayland Raylock.
If I had crossed paths with Nayland Raylock again, we wouldn't be hearing about him anymore.
Wherever Nayland is, he's not at Kaleth.
You said you found the first blade, or its hilt at least. Is it... May I see it?
Right here. Look at how it's conveniently hidden from the camera angle.
The metal, the power cell chamber. These are lost techniques. Our lightsabers began here with this.
The very first lightsaber hilt. I mean, it's cool just thinking of the possibilities of you holding the very first lightsaber hilt.
Too, perhaps to hold more. I deciphered a second clue from Rajavari's hologram. To find the Fount of Rajavari, this hilt must be taken to a cave in the Typhonian Mountains. The hologram says the founders meditated in that cave, debated. They became the Jedi Council.
The very first Jedi Council. I mean,
the hologram didn't say. Keep your eyes open.
Star Wars lore, it's just...
I apologize.
Quite unfortunately, that guy, Quaizen Fess, is the first companion for the Jedi Council, and I'm like, really? I mean, the Jedi Inquisitors had Kamvel, who is a guy that ate Jedi.
Good luck and be
You know what I mean? The Sith Inquisitors get some guy that eats Jedi, while the Jedi Sages and Jedi Counselors, which means Jedi Sages and Shadows, the very first companion they get is a reptilian dude. His race name is Trandoshan. Yeah. Not very exciting, seriously. But we go to that particular cave where apparently the very first Jedi Council used to meet in order to meditate. We obviously run into a couple of Flesh Raiders. At this point in time, we still do not have a companion, but we're gonna just completely obliterate these guys here. So the rotation I'm doing for starters is telekinetic throw, then I usually do the regular throw if I didn't get stunned. There you go, the regular throw. And now I'm going to do a couple of lightsaber moves because the guy was really close to me. After that, you do the jumping force throw. I don't know exactly the names of skills at this point in the game yet, so don't quote me on those skill names. But yeah, usually what I do is I try to keep them away from me as much as I can and use range attacks, because I think that's how you should get used to playing if you want to play a Sage. Because I believe that in endgame, you're not necessarily going to be in melee range, considering that you only have one melee ability, which is that dual saber strike. Oh, that backpedaling there. Oh, so vicious. Not that it really matters at this particular point in the game, but it's just something that I need to not do, obviously, when I'm going to be PvPing or something like that. This is a PvP server, the Crucible Pits, so I gotta be careful with that. Anyways, gonna be taking down a couple of more Flesh Raider scavengers, making sure that the cave is completely clear. I like to clear everything, get as much experience as possible this early in the game. It's not like it's necessarily super duper important, but it's still sort of something that you need to, you know, if you can get more experience, why not? And here's the stone marker that supposedly will give us the second clue to the Fount of Rajavari. Points. This guy basically hunts for points. His deity is supposed to be a scorekeeper, and the more monsters and whatever things he kills, the more points he gets towards his religion. It almost feels like this guy's like a predator race, you know? Predator.
So hunting is how you serve your goddess, this scorekeeper.
You know, like from the movie Predator? No, nothing that I can decipher in this carving.
It's badly eroded.
I can only see the symbols of eyes, really.
I should examine them. Maybe piling up the oldest bones is somehow significant to the Flesh Raiders.
I think our good friend Quaizen Fess here had a better idea of what had happened than me. So we go ahead and we start moving the bones around. Fortunately, there is no animation for us actually digging through the bones. Moving them aside, you see the bones were piled over an ancient pedestal. Quickly shift the camera angle and boom! Bones are gone! And then we found a little crevice where we can put the hilt, but we find a couple of Nayland Reloc's followers.
So fast, Jedi. That Flesh Raider stench was making us dizzy.
I actually don't remember what these people were doing here.
There's Flesh Raiders all over these caves. Didn't they see you?
Nayland cut a path for us. He hid his scent, then took those things down in a flash. Nayland said to wait for you. You've got something he needs. He has to find this Fount of Rajavari to keep defending our village. You promised the Jedi would help us, but nothing's changed. So we need whatever First Blade you got in Kaleth.
You're crazy. These people are all crazy.
Nayland only cares about the Fount of Rajavari. Sending you here risked your lives when he supposedly wants to save you.
You don't get it. We're scared. Nayland hardly comes into the village now. Barely eats or sleeps. And when you talk to him, his eyes are so
He's
strange.
probably smoking weed.
I can't give Nayland what he wants. But stand down and I'll do what I can for him.
No, seriously, I'm
Something
trying to follow the light
terrible's
path, so
happening,
obviously I want to
Keep
say,
your
oh,
eye
I'm
back,
going to
whatever
help
it
him. I'm
is.
going to help him out.
Keep it away from Nayland. Jedi, please, don't hurt him. Whatever Nayland's become, he did this for us.
Yeah, actually the Jedi were kind of a hypocrites when it came to Kalikori Village. Why wouldn't they protect the Kalikori against the Flesh Raiders? I mean, sure, they're supposed to be neutral, but the Flesh Raiders are kind of like monsters and
Here
whatever.
in this cave, we Founders discussed our vision for the Jedi Order. And I, Rajavari, listened. I listened as they carefully crippled our newborn order, as they argued for mediocrity. It shall not stand. I have laid my plans. With my army made from Tython's true dark sons, I will purge this council of fools while they chatter.
I actually like the teachings of Master Rajavari. I almost feel
he mean by
like being,
Typhon's true
you know,
dark
a dark Jedi, so to speak.
Only my apprentices and I will survive. From Kaleth, we will mold the Jedi into what we deserve.
Although he is a little bit
If
extremist.
the hilt of the First Blade has been returned, we succeeded, and the future follows the path we left. Follow, Seeker. Follow the path to the Fount of Rajavari. It is time.
So apparently he left behind the map to the Fountain of Rajavari.
Let's take this back to the Jedi Temple. Master Yuan can help us interpret
Yes, Master Yuan can help us interpret it. He keeps calling me small hunter. I'm not that small. Would hate to suffer Yuan's wrath. Yeah, I don't think Yuan's gonna be that wrathful. Anyways, this is gonna be it for this particular episode. I got 2 more episodes incoming. Leave me your feedback and I'll see you guys in the next one.